My life be like, ooh, yeah, ooh. My life be like, ooh, yeah.
Hey guys, it's Lara. Today I'm going to show you the altered book I made. I'm not going to bring out all the supplies I used to make it because there's so many of them and it would just take too much time and get kind of confusing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each page and tell you how I made it and the different techniques I used, and then at the end I'll show you how I put it together because it's a hanging book. Alright, so the theme of this book was journey, because I wanted to do something related to my journey as an exchange student a couple years ago. So for the title page, alright, no, I'm remembering things I want to mention and it's all out of order. Okay, first, every page is made out of an old, thick cardstock flashcard, and then I put cardstock, or whatever paper I was going to use, over that. Alright, so on the first page, I used one of my favorite techniques, and what you do is you mix up some glue and a little bit of water to get, make it a little bit thin and spread it over your page. And then you take tissue paper, and I especially like using metallic tissue paper, and you put it over the page and scrunch it up, and it gives it this very cool folded look, and if you use Distress ink on it, it makes it look even more grungy and vintage. So I did this in silver. And then after that I took a script handwriting stamp and just used black ink and stamped it over. It's hard to see, it's really, and it's not just the camera, it's really faded and splotchy, and I don't know if that's because the project itself is 2 years old maybe, or if I meant to do it that way, or it was in an art show as like a touchable project, so I don't know if it got rubbed off, but that's okay. So after that I put down this piece of blue textured cardstock, and before I glued that down I took a wire and threaded some glass beads on it. All of these beads are from Michaels and this is from Walmart. And then I tied that on the back and then glued it down so it had a little embellishment. And then the photo, I got this idea from a book, I believe it's called Mixed Emulsions. It had really great ideas of things you can do to images. So on this one I put bleach over the top of the photo, and depending on how long you put the bleach on for and how much you put on, it'll strip the surface layer off the photo, and it can range from making it a little faded to kind of orange to completely stripping it white, which is what happened in a later photo I'll show you. So I did that, and then I cut the photo out using those scissors that the blades are in like a design. I think this one was called Torn Edge. And then I took sandpaper and sanded over the entire image and the edges, and what that did was it made the page more matte instead of glossy. And then I took I'm not sure what it's called, but it's on, if you have a nail clipper, there's a piece that sometimes spins out and it has a point on it. It might be to push down your cuticles or something, but it was perfect for kind of getting in there and scraping off some of this top layer, which is why it has a white outline. And the actual photo is of a road sign in Costa Rica, and I thought that went really well with my journey theme. I would tell you what it meant, except for I don't know, which is kind of embarrassing. But there we go for the first page. Oh, right, a disclaimer. Alright, because this book is very old, this was when I first started doing mixed media, and the style is a lot different from what I do now. It's more like an anything goes, crazy bright, use what I have around the house. And now that I've started learning more and getting better supplies, my stuff does not look like this anymore. The reason I gave you this disclaimer is because some of the pages are just embarrassing, like this one. But, you know, that's okay because it shows how I've grown in just a short amount of time. But this photo is of my cousin there, and we were at the host grandparents' house having a family dinner and stuff. and we were taking lots of pictures, and so I cut her out, put it on a piece of brown textured cardstock. Again, I used the sandpaper to make it more matte and the nail clipper tool, and put sequins over her eyes. I'm not sure why I did that, but oh well. And this page does have something I really like. I'm not sure why I put it. I guess because she has pink and purple in her shirt, but this is called bubble paper. And I got this from a local artist that my mom is friends with, and she told me how she makes it one time, but I was kind of confusing. But she mixes up soap and paint and shimmers, and then blows bubbles onto paper, and it gives us a really cool, bubbly, splotchy, glittery paper. And so I used a strip of it here. Alright, so this next page is of the beach, and so I put down a piece of brown cardstock and used light blue chalk ink right there and stamped the edge. And so for the photo, I cut it out, sanded it down. I sanded the edges a lot, which gave it this cool white border, and I didn't have to do anything except for sand it. And I hot glued some seashells, and the stamp says "This Way to Fun" on an arrow. And what happened with this is when I sanded it down, it got kind of hard to tell that the picture was water, because it just kind of got muted a lot. So I took some more of the blue chalk ink and put it in here to bring back the blue and the water. Alright, the next page is of one of my friends at the school I went to. His name is Alan. I have a little glass heart here because I had a crush on him. Here's this blue texture cardstock that I used as a border over top this old Spanish textbook page. And I used the C's because it says, it's hard for me to focus on that. Alright, it's not going to work, but this says Una Clase, and so it went well because he was my classmate. We were in classes together. For his photo, I sanded it and then colored it in, his shirt in with some gel pens. Okay. I thought I wrote the 300 in there, and I was trying to figure out why, but that's actually part of his shirt. Okay. The next page is kind of a crazy page, but I do like it. I used some green fabric here. Hold on, let me check the time. I got a couple more minutes. And then this yellow luggage tag that the exchange program gave us, and somehow I ended up with an extra one. And then this photo of a couple of my American friends in one of our classes. We obviously were paying very close attention to the teacher. And then I took a heart stamp and punched it out and then put a piece of red textured cardstock underneath it. And I think I must have tried to ink this up a little bit, but either I didn't know what I was doing or I wanted it to look strange. I'm really not sure, but so it looks kind of dirty, but like the not on purpose dirty, which is kind of bad. But on the next page, I really like this page too. I think, yeah, it goes this way. You can't tell what it is, but that's okay. It has the back of the luggage tag, the piece of polka dot cardstock. This is actually, it's a picture of a volcano, and the volcano obviously wasn't exploding while we were there, but when I put the bleach over it, it kind of looks like lava. And then I rubbed it here, and that gave it a kind of a fiery look and stripped it off in the middle. And then this is a bird rub-on that I put. I kind of liked how it looked like it was flying into the flames. Not in a morbid way, just kind of, you know, I thought that was cool. And a little piece of fiber ribbon. Okay. The next page, wrong way, is another one of the beach. I like all these pages, so I don't know why I keep on saying that. But it's another piece of the Spanish textbook. A quick layer of blue paint on it. I didn't want it to completely cover the page, so you can still see through it. Some silver thread glued on. And then I used those scissors again to cut the edges, sanded it, used bleach, cut it out. And that's all there was to that page.